Okay, so wow. This is different. I got to say, these sources you sent over are not what I was expecting for this deep dive asparagus hunting.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I had this image of like little guys in camouflage gear with these tiny spears, right? Like it was going to be pretty funny. But the more I read these sources, the more fascinated I got. I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah, when you first hear it, you kind of chuckle, right? Asparagus hunting, but there's a lot more to it. I mean, it's tied into history and nature of gourmet food even. And it really makes you wonder, why hunt for something you can just buy at the store, right? Like, what's the big deal?
Exactly. Yeah, my mind went straight to those like perfectly lined up bunches of asparagus at the grocery store. And I was like, how do you even hunt for this stuff? I mean, is it like buried treasure or something?
Well, it's not like a springtime treasure hunt, I guess you could say. Before we started cultivating asparagus, it was a wild plant. And I was reading this historical cookbook at one of the sources you sent. And, oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Yeah, hi, it's David. Yes, I proposed this topic about asparagus hunting because the day before yesterday, I went on asparagus hunting myself. So I thought, oh my God, probably I have to do a podcast about that, which I think is very, very interesting. And I'm talking about wild asparagus, okay? The one you pick up now and then. And the thing is, the asparagus season is very short. It's about 2 or 3 weeks before summer. And that's what it has a kind of magic about these little creatures. What do you think about that?
David, that's amazing. You've actually been out there doing it yourself.
Yeah, that adds a whole new dimension to this conversation, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's really interesting that you mentioned the short season.
That limited window definitely adds to the appeal.
Like it's this fleeting opportunity.
Exactly, this idea of something rare. So back to the question of how to hunt them.
Right. So where do you even start looking?
Well, our sources talk about certain soil types, damp areas near woodlands.
Even the angle of sunlight can make a difference.
And experienced hunters can spot a patch from far away, almost like a sixth sense.
It's interesting you bring that up because I was reading this article.
Oh, yeah?
By a Michelin star chef about wild asparagus having an unmatched intensity.
Oh, wow.
Describing it as grassy with hints of artichoke and a lingering sweetness.
That you just don't get with the cultivated varieties.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too.
It sounds like more than just a taste, a deeper connection.
A nature writer mentioned reconnecting with the land.
Yes, that asparagus hunting is a way to appreciate the cycles of nature.
It's the slow, rewarding process of finding food.
That's beautiful.
Reminds me of...
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, that's the point I would like to point out. It's like a kind of meditation, Once you pick up an asparagus, you can just stop there. You have to keep on picking up them. And the thing is that... asparagus doesn't grow up just in a square meter, so you have to walk and there is one there, one here, and that's a good fun, because you are getting with nature, you are relaxing. There is no phones, no other things to think about.
That's so well put, David. A kind of meditation.
This really echoes what the nature writer was saying.
Absolutely.
It's that act of slowing down, observing, connecting.
The article mentions how it's not about instant gratification.
It's about patience and presence.
In that cookbook we touched on earlier,
yes,
it mentioned people would walk for miles
just to find a handful of wild asparagus.
That sense of community and shared experience is very special.
It's about more than just the asparagus itself, isn't it?
Slowing down, observing nature, and you find joy in those simple things.
So, David, thinking about that mindful aspect, how do you cook it?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Yeah, normally I cook them in a omelette. Just plain boiled asparagus, and then I add a pair of eggs, and that's it. You've got a very nice and delicious asparagus omelette. What do you think about that?
It sounds delicious, David. So simple.
Yeah, I love that you keep it so pure.
The omelet sounds like a perfect way to highlight the flavor.
Absolutely. It sounds like a delicious way to cap off the hunt.
Like a celebration of the day's reward.
Exactly. A simple dish, like a gift from nature.
Maybe even try hunting some yourself.
Definitely. Next time I see asparagus, I'll think of it as an adventure.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. There is one thing you have to bear in mind when eating asparagus is that you will wee with a funny smell, if you know what I mean.
Ah, yes, David, you're referring to asparagus pea.
Asparagus pea.
Apparently, it is a well-known phenomenon.
You learn something new every day.
It's due to asparagusic acid.
So what happens?
It breaks down into volatile compounds.
Which gives urine that distinct odor.
Not everyone can smell it.
How interesting.
My pleasure. It was a lot of fun sharing about asparagus.
All right, well, this has been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot about pea.
Me too. It's been great connecting all of the details.
So next time I see...
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
So before you go, I'd like to ask you, have you been hunting asparagus yourself?
That's a great question, David. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Have we been hunting ourselves?
Well, I haven't personally, but after this, I'm tempted to try.
Me neither, but you've inspired me, David, to give it a shot.
This whole conversation has made me want to experience it.
Absolutely, to find that wild asparagus that tastes so good.
All right, now I think that about wraps it up for today's show.
Join us next time as we continue our journey
Yes, we will.
of discovery with more fascinating deep dives.
We might even have to do a follow-up after asparagus season.
A taste test, perhaps, of our foraged goods.
Until then, keep exploring and stay curious.
And thank you so much for joining us today, David.
We hope you'll come back to talk with us again soon.
It was a pleasure having you on the show today, David.
Your insights really enriched our exploration of asparagus,
We appreciate your insightful contributions to the show, David.
and we are happy to share this experience with our listeners.
Your passion for asparagus hunting is contagious.
And now we hope you can fondly reflect on this podcast.
It was a fun conversation, and we hope you enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure having you, and that's the show.
Thank you.